1807 to 1830. Federalism, fear, and the question of who's actually in charge. To understand why the Insurrection Act exists at all, one has to bear in mind that early America was not especially confident about the answer to a very basic question. Who exactly is in charge here? The Constitution created a federal government, but it did so delicately, nervously even, like a man juggling nitroglycerin next to a blast furnace while insisting that he's got everything perfectly under control. The states retained an enormous power. Local militias were assumed to be the first line of defense against disorder. The federal government was meant to be strong enough to survive, but weak enough not to frighten anyone. And this worked, right up until it didn't. The problem was not tyranny from above. The problem was paralysis from below. What happens when a state cannot enforce the law? Just as importantly, what happens when it will not? The founders had seen this movie already under the Articles of Confederation, where the national government could issue polite requests and then watch helplessly as states simply ignored them. The Insurrection Act was designed to prevent a return to that same sort of impotence. It does not erase federalism, it merely acknowledges its limitations. The act assumes correctly that emergencies do not wait for jurisdictional debates to resolve themselves, that mobs do not consult constitutional theory before lighting their torches and burning their effigies, and that a republic which cannot compel obedience to its own laws will not remain a republic for very long. This is why the act is structured as a last resort. The president may intervene only after state authorities are overwhelmed, obstructed, or are actively complicit in the breakdown of civic order. In other words, federal force is not the first move, it is the fine, we are out of options move. From the beginning, the Insurrection Act embodied a hard truth about self-government. Liberty requires order, and order occasionally requires someone to be willing to say, that's enough.